horrific week for the fake news media. That is the subject of tonight's Waters Words. It began with Rachel Maddow over at MSNBC teasing a blockbuster scoop, but she whiffed. Breaking, we've got Trump tax returns. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, MSNBC. Seriously. So Americans dialed into her show and were met with a 20-minute monologue about God knows what. Until finally she showed just 2 pages of Donald Trump's tax returns from 12 years ago.
What I have here is a copy of Donald Trump's tax returns. We have his federal tax return for 1 year for 2005.
Now, I watched part of the show, and honestly, I don't even know what she was talking about. All it showed was that he paid $40 million in taxes, a rate of 25%. So that's the scoop? And by the way, that's a higher rate than Obama, Romney, and our good friend Bernie Sanders paid. Next, CNN's Dylan Byers claimed Fox News' Sean Hannity pulled a gun on colleague Juan Williams on the set of his show. Quote, Hannity pulled out a gun and pointed it directly at Williams, according to 3 sources with knowledge of the incident. He even turned on the laser sight, causing a red dot to bob around on Williams' body. But guess what? The story was fake news. Juan Williams said the entire thing was sensationalized, and he and Sean are great friends. Sean said he never pointed the gun at anyone, and the whole thing was false. But still, CNN has not issued a retraction. And that brings us to the good old New York Times, the paper of record, right? But the publication looks like it needs to start a fact-checking a little more thoroughly. Here's Trump's budget director, Mick Mulvaney, doing that job for them.
I'm going to call on the New York Times because they're in trouble. Apparently, is there where's my New York Times guy? Matt Flagenheimer and Alan Rappaport, okay, are in big trouble. I'll give you the first question, but you have to deliver this message to them. They printed this morning that I'm the father of 17-year-old triplet girls. My 17-year-old daughter really wishes that we're happy, or really wishes that had happened, but my 2 17-year-old sons are really upset. So if you could clarify that, that would be great.
So if they can't get something as simple as that right, imagine the bigger stuff that they get wrong that we don't even know about. It's the news that's fit to print. Sure it is. And that was just sloppy. The next thing is just a lie. Now, we all remember when leaked emails showed that CNN contributor and current DNC chair Donna Brazile leaked questions to Hillary Clinton before a town hall debate. I confronted her about that in the Vegas debate spin room.
Ms. Brazile, did you really feed a debate question to Hillary?
You know, sir, I've heard a lot of lies in my life, and I keep hearing them every day.
So that wasn't you on the email?
Sir, first of all, there's no proof, and there will never be any proof that I've ever received any questions in advance.
That was a lie? Sure. But just the other day, she wrote the following in Time magazine. In October, a subsequent release of emails revealed that among the many things I did in my role as a Democratic operative and DNC vice chair prior to assuming the interim DNC chair position was to share potential town hall topics with the Clinton campaign. Sounds like a confession to me. Could have cleared that up on Waters World months ago. Wonder what took her so long. And lastly, a tale of 2 headlines. When presidents come into office, they almost always fire the politically appointed U.S. attorneys from the previous administration. Nothing wrong with that. You want your own guys in there. So, when President Obama did it, this is how Politico's Josh Gerstein headlined it. Obama to replace U.S. attorneys. But when President Trump did the exact same thing, the same reporter 8 years later used this headline. Trump team ousts Obama-appointed U.S. attorneys. Ousts? What's with the tone change, Josh? I see what you did there. Here's another one. Look at this CNN headline from October. No, the presidential election can't be hacked. But after Hillary Clinton lost the election, this was the CNN headline. Russian hacking and the 2016 election, what you need to know. So let me get this straight. CNN says that Russians can't hack the election when Trump suggests it, but says they can hack it when Hillary suggests it? You guys do realize that the internet saves these headlines, right? So Waters Words will continue to expose fake news, double standards, and juiced headlines. Number 1, because you need to know about it. But number 2, because it's just so easy. What a bunch of clowns.